I'm Rosie and today I'm going to show you my May TBR. I've got 7 books to show you today and I've tried to go for quite a reasonable variety in both genre and formats in which I read the book, just to kind of enhance the reading experience a bit and also just to keep things interesting. So while there are quite a lot of fantasy books here, which is my favourite genre, I have got a few more thriller, historical fiction and classics as well. So I'm going to start with the books I'm currently reading, and I'm currently reading 3 books. The first of these is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This is the 3rd book in the Darker Shade of Magic series and follows the story of Kel, who is an Antari, so has the power to transport between different versions of London. Each version of London has different strengths of magic to them, and he meets Leela, who is a cross-dressing thief who wants to be a pirate. So all of that is just really appeals to me, and this is the final book in the trilogy, and I am heartbroken that it's coming to an end, but also really excited to see the conclusion to the story, and this book is already turning out to be such an amazing read. The next book I'm currently reading is Dunstan by Connie Goulden, which I'm reading on my Kindle. This book is about a man who I believe was a real person who basically was quite involved with Saxon kings. I don't really know too much, I've only just started the story and I've tried not to read too much of the history outside of the book so I can get a better appreciation of the story that Connie Goulden is trying to tell. But so far I'm not quite sure what to make of it. The writing is amazing, but I'm still trying to get into the story and appreciate the character a bit more. I find it quite hard to connect to him at the moment, but I've only just started, so we'll see how that changes, and I'm pretty sure it'll make for quite an interesting read because I don't read historical fiction much. I'm also listening to American Psycho by... the author's name has disappeared from my brain. American Psycho is pretty much what the cover name tells you. Story about an American psycho. I'm only just into this book as well, and I've tried not to... While I know like the kind of basics of the stories based on how integrated this story is in popular culture, I don't know the story as a whole, and I'm trying to keep it that way so I can actually go into the book without feeling too much expectation of what's to come. That's going to be my audiobook of the month. I try and only have one audiobook that I plan to read or listen to a month, just because some of them are quite long and I may not necessarily find the time to listen to more than one, so any others are just an added extra. So yeah, that's my American Psycho is my audiobook of the month. So those are the 3 books that I'm currently reading. As well as them, I'm also planning on reading Wind Witch by Susan Dennard. I don't know why I've not read this book yet. I have been planning to read it since the moment I got it, since the moment the book came out. Even before then. I really want to get to this month. I think I just haven't found the time to just sit down and get into the story, which is what I want to do. I don't want to be picking it up and putting it down just for like 10 minutes of dipping in. I feel it's a story that I want to just sit in and invest my time into. So I'm holding off on this one, but I'm hoping to find time this month. Fingers crossed I will get to this month because I am desperate to read it. I am then also planning on having a Pride and Prejudice week, probably the 3rd week of May. I'm planning to do this week because I have 2 Pride and Prejudice related books that I really want to read, and they've been on my shelf for a while, and I feel like the best thing to do is just have a week dedicated to them. So both of these are books that have films or other adaptations relating them out as well. So I'm planning to read the book, then watch the adaptation, then read the other book and watch that adaptation. So of course the first book is Pride and Prejudice. I want to remind myself on the story, like I've read this book ages ago and I really enjoyed it the first time I read it, and I just kind of want to get back into it. I have the Keira Knightley film adaptation, but I've heard that the Colin Firth one is better, which I believe is a TV adaptation. I'm not 100% sure because I've never seen it, so I'm currently debating between those 2 as to what to watch. I may just see how much time I have as well as what mood I'm in when I get around to finishing this book. The second one, Pride and Prejudice and Zombies, which is by Jane Austen and Seth Graeme-Smith, and this is essentially Pride and Prejudice but with zombies. It's been on my list for a while, especially since the film came out, and I like reading books before I watch the film as I find that just gives me a bit more of an appreciation for the film or adaptation, as there are a lot of TV adaptations as well of books. So yeah, this is the second book I'm going to be reading my Pride and Prejudice week, and I'm really excited. That's my Pride and Prejudice week, and those are all the physical books I'm going to be reading. I do have one other book that I'm planning on reading this month, and that is Flame in the Mist by Renee Ahdieh. That I'm going to be reading on my Kindle. I've got a review copy of it, so I need to get reading on that. But this is a book about a girl who was the daughter of a samurai, and it's set in Japan, and that in itself just makes me desperate to read it. It sounds amazing, and this author has such a reputation that precedes her. Her two previous books are fantastic, although I've not read them myself. This will be the first book by Renee Ahdieh that I've read, so I'm really excited to read it. I have heard it's a Mulan retelling, although I'm not completely sure given it's based in Japan rather than China, so I'm not 100% sure if that is a fact or if it's just similarities between the two. I've not done as much research into this book because I want to kind of go in with an open mind and not really knowing quite what to expect beyond the basic. It's about a daughter of a samurai, set in Japan. So those are the 7 books I am planning on reading in May. If you do have any recommendations for other books that you think I might like, please let me know in the comment box. And also just let me know what you're reading in May. And also if you have read any of the books that I've mentioned, let me know what you think, because I am curious to hear what other people are thinking of the books that I am reading. I will see you next time. Goodbye.